Thank you very much for staying right here with us on the Sports Central here on Spectrum Television. Blyden now joins the conversation. Blyden, it's a very fine morning to have you return here.
So good to be back.
Yeah, I'm sure I can see you had time to rest.
Well, if you say so. But that's not the starting point. Come on. I was expecting another line.
Yeah. Well, let's leave it. That's enough for the day.
Beginning to change, huh?
All right, now let's begin a conversation this morning from tennis and talk about the story we all woke up to this morning. World #1, three-time Grand Slam winner, having won at Roland Garros in 2019, Wimbledon in 2021, and of course this year became the first Australian in 44 years to win the Australian Open. Ashleigh Barty, at the age of 25, says she's stepping away from the sport has brought her so much fame and so much fortune just on the eve of her 26th birthday. How did you receive that particular news?
Right. I'll begin by saying wonder shall never end. In sports, you want to hear shockers. You want to hear upsets, but
Absolutely.
not this type of upsets.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I was wondering what's wrong with Ashleigh Barty. What the issue is, I remember in 2014, she did retire, went to join the cricket side.
Yeah, just stepped away.
Yeah, stepped away, you would call it. Joined the cricket side in the Bash competition and came back. And when she returned, she seemed like a different Ashleigh Barty. Won 3 Grand Slams. And in history, she's the first woman to do it in terms of getting to 3 finals of a Grand Slam for the first time and winning it. And I was listening to Ashleigh Barty really talk about the situation, and she said Wimbledon was the idea, was the dream, that she had won the Wimbledon Open. But it seemed like what was keeping her was the Australian Open, which for 40 years no Australian man or woman had won the Australian Open. And she finally won it, and she said, it's enough. I've gotten to that peak, I've gotten to that point. Wow, big one. As you can recover from it, because oftentimes you see people retire when the seem like the finish.
You know, but this lady is retiring when she's still at the peak of her past now. She's world #1 at the very zenith of the WTA. And she's well, you know, gotten everything under control. We're talking about approaching the French Open where she's defending champion. And you wouldn't bet against her getting in there at Roland Garros and getting that particular. But well, she says, well, she's finished. Well, she's not motivated.
Yeah, she said there's no energy for her.
Yeah, there's no more.
She's not in the
she's physically drained.
Not in the emotional condition to go through. But from a sporting perspective, I think it's sad. From a sporting perspective, it's sad. Because you look at Ashleigh Barty, remember during the Australian Open, we're talking about Ashleigh Barty dominating the scenes. For a while, we've not seen a female tennis player really...
Since Serena Williams.
Since Serena Williams really dominate the scene. And we were hoping we're going to see that from Ashleigh Barty. Probably gets to win more Grand Slams. She's won just 15 trophies.
Yeah.
With her quality. And that step aside backhand she does often. Her trademark steps. We're going to miss it. A lot of people will miss it. I'm going to miss it. I just hope probably, maybe somewhere she gets to change her mind. At 25, Black Gems, come on, you should play at least up to 30 or 10. Come on.
All right, now that's the wish for Blyden, but of course, Ashleigh Barty has taken her own decision. Very quickly, let's look back at that interview she had leads last night, early as of this morning, depending on what climb you saw that one from, and then listen first then to Ashleigh Barty, and of course potentially maybe get the reason she stepped away from this sport has brought her so much at just the age of 25. Let's take a listen to Ashleigh Barty now.
Yeah, I kind of wasn't quite sure how I was going to do this, but I think so many times in my life, both my professional and my personal, you've been there for me. And I just couldn't think, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. It's just my way. And this is perfect for me to share it with you, to talk to you about it, with my team, my loved ones, that I'll be retiring from tennis. And it's the first time I've actually said it out loud, and yeah, it's hard to say, but I'm so happy and I'm so ready, and I just know at the moment in my heart, for me as a person, this is right. And I know I've done this before, but in a very different feeling. And I'm so grateful to everything that tennis has given me. It's given me all of my dreams plus more. But I know that the time is right now for me to step away and chase other dreams, and to put the rackets down.
Thank you for trusting me again. You're an inspiration to so many, and it can't be easy, but it also must feel nice to, in a way, get it off your chest. Why now, I think, is probably going to be the most common question. Why now?
Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, and I've had a lot of incredible moments in my career that have been pivotal moments. And Wimbledon last year changed a lot for me as a person and for me as an athlete, when you work so hard your whole life for one goal. And I've been able to share that with so many incredible people. But to be able to win Wimbledon, which was my dream, the one true dream that I wanted in tennis, that really changed my perspective. And I just had that gut feeling after Wimbledon, and had spoken to my team quite a lot about it. And there was just a little part of me that wasn't quite satisfied, wasn't quite fulfilled. And then came the challenge of the Australian Open. And I think that for me just feels like the most perfect way, my perfect way, to celebrate what an amazing journey my tennis career has been. As a person, this is what I want. I want to chase after some other dreams that I've always wanted to do, and always have that really healthy balance. But I'm really, really excited.
I think.
So that's Ashley Barty. Well, the Australian Open trophy early this year, just the turning point for her, and in her personal life, and of course her professional life as a tennis player. Undoubtedly now Blyden, despite being around for such a short time, she's left an indelible mark on the tennis scene, and undoubtedly she's got to be a Hall of Famer.
I agree, but the interview got me concerned. I was expecting her to say, I'm going to miss tennis. But she said she's happy. That really struck me. She said she's happy. She's achieved everything she wanted to achieve in tennis, and she's going to follow other dreams. I wonder what the dreams are. I really wonder what the dreams are. What dreams? What dreams will be bigger than being a world number one in tennis at this point?
She's got a family. She's got a family, and she's got a life to live.
Come on, Brian.
We'll make it look like sports is
tennis. Tennis is part of life.
Yeah, tennis is part of life, but tennis is not the ultimate thing. It's not the biggest thing in life.
She's 25.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm just thinking, listening to her. I'm thinking, what could be that thing? What could be that thing that could be so strong that makes her leave being world number one at this point at 25? And what dream is it? It's a dream of many kids. Look at it in Australia. Statistics shows that there's been an increase in the number of girls playing tennis by 30% because of Ashley Barty. And she's been such massive inspiration to these lads, to tennis development in Australia. And now she's retiring at 25.
Yeah, but
what a moment.
Yeah, she's basically stepping away from playing active tennis, but it doesn't mean she's absolutely leaving the tennis scene. I'm sure she would still maybe hang around, still organize tennis clinics, and be a part of a lot more projects to motivate the younger generation to take it up.
I just hope many years to come, a few years to come, I'll be able to do the things I do and say I was happy. And I achieved it. Just like she said it.
We should be happy.
Any consideration.
We should be happy for her because the striking thing is this: she's made her decision and she's made peace with it. That's the ultimate thing in life.
That was the point for me.
You take a decision and you make peace with it.
I didn't hear anything like.
Sort of like regret, any single
not regret, but basically saying, "Oh, I did enjoy tennis. I'm going to miss tennis. I wish I could be around, but I have to move." It didn't come that way. It just came. When I heard that word, I'm happy I'll be leaving tennis. I'm like, really? Yeah. Oh, me. For world number one at 25, that's massive. Well, respect for me. Respect one word.
Massive respect, and of course, we can only wish her the very best. Whether or not she would get back, we can't quite say that now, but we've had players in the past, like Victoria Azarenka, Kim Clijsters, very famously, who's stepped out, a couple of times and returned to playing tennis. Will that be the case for Ashley Barty? we can't quite say, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. And we can only wish her the very best life has to offer from now going forward. Now, let's leave there, Blight, and then return talk about the WTA rankings. You know, big movers. It has to be about the likes of Mari Sakari and, of course, the number 2 ranked tennis player now. We're talking about the Polish lady Iga Świątek. It comes as no surprise, cracking into the top 3. You know, these ladies have been consistent all season, and they've been going toe-to-toe with each other for different titles.
Iga Świątek is more or less like number 1 now.
Well, even it's number 1, especially now Ashley Barty stepped up.
Ashley Barty is retired.
Yeah.
So Ashley Barty is number 1. Iga Świątek, what a way to become number 1 indirectly.
Well, she would have to walk away there because there's some points differential between Iga Świątek and Ashley Barty.
I agree, but this one is retired. So indirectly, she's the number 1, the top seed player in the world right now.
Absolutely.
It goes to show big level of improvement. We saw her in Doha this year. She's had what a wonderful year Iga Świątek has had. Fantastic player. First of all, it was good being around the top 10 at some point. But she's progressed, and as we've talked about it, she's basically 20. Just 20 years. Absolute. I don't know what to expect from Iga Świątek in the coming years. But being number 1 or number 2 right now. She's number 2. But being top seed player, that's the right term now. Being top seed player in the world right now got to come with a lot of pressure. Big pressure for her. But exciting that she's been able to, the work is paying up, and she's been able to get to this point. And she's been showing class all season. I really look forward to what Iga Świątek will bring in tennis. Maybe that stability that we've been looking for.
Yeah, let's switch the WTA rankings for the ATP rankings very quickly and talk about the biggest movers. There's none bigger than Taylor Fritz, the Indian Wells Masters 1000 winner, defeated Rafa Nadal. Cracked into the top 15 for the very first time in his career, now ranked at number 13. On the movement also saw Rafa Nadal switching places with Alexander Zverev. Rafa Nadal now moves up to number 3, while Zverev has dropped place down to number 4. And for Carlos Alcaraz, his biggest ever movement is seeing him crack into the top 16 in the world right there. And you look at the other movement, but this has got to be the biggest movers and movements of consequence. Taylor Fritz, Rafa Nadal, and of course Carlos Alcaraz.
Taylor Fritz for me, I'll start with Taylor Fritz. Massive. Outside top 20 at a point. Now top 15. Big. And that shows what one tournament can do for you. Getting to the finals of the Indian Wells. Getting to win. And not just getting that win, but getting that win against Rafael Nadal. Big win for him. And it's what we love to see in tennis. Those shockers coming in. Those movements coming in. And exciting because other players are looking at it. Absolutely. And they're beginning to take the tour seriously. It all came from the tour. It wasn't a Grand Slam. So you have to take the tour seriously and do the bit you have to do in order to get these results. For Rafael Nadal, he's been consistent. Sadly, he's been injured one way. We heard he has a fractured rib. Yeah. Sadly, that's happening to Rafael Nadal. And most people would say probably that could have been the reason he lost to Fritz.
Yeah, because, he said, leaving that story for a bit now, talking about Rafael Nadal, we understand would be out for between 4 to 6 weeks. He said he's playing through pain. He got injured playing in the semi-final against Carlos Alcaraz. Had difficulties breathing, and of course felt dizzy. And he took that. I remember, we sat here on Monday and we talked about, that usual Rafa Nadal attacking game. We didn't see him. He was basically very conservative, just trying to see out the game. He didn't want to retire, and now we know the answers.
But I'm wondering how it had to be a fractured rib. How did it come about? You understand, for a rib to get fractured, that has been my concern.
Yeah, but you know how he plays and the stress, the movement, and then having to, how it is playing tennis.
I know.
Having to stretch and then dig very deep. You're getting the shots. The power comes from your belly down. And maybe in the process.
So the rib cracked.
Yeah. And that's got to be concerning.
It's concerning, but I heard he'll be out about 6 weeks. Or
yeah, 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. Not a long time. I hope he gets better and show dominance and play tennis the way he ought to play. Yeah. The Rafael Nadal that we know, the usual Rafael Nadal.
And now the concerns.
He might move up to becoming world number 1.
The concerns now, how that affects him ahead of Roland Garros, the second Grand Slam for the year, where he's a 13-time winner, and of course the record winner in that particular competition. Now, he would miss the next 2 events the Masters 1000 in Monte Carlo in preparation for that particular one. And an event back in his native, we're talking Spain, Barcelona, where he's defending champion. And that definitely, some say, would affect his build-up to Roland Garros.
Well, I think the man needs a rest. He's been really busy this year, playing in Acapulco, getting that win, and now getting to the finals of this particular competition, Indian Wells. We were hoping that we'll really see him playing in the Miami Open and all other Opens you could think of, Monte Carlo and the rest. But happening this way, let him get the rest and come back fresh. Who knows? If Rafael Nadal, anytime he does a comeback, he gets to win tournaments. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for his quick recovery, and when it comes up, probably gets to win the tournaments there for him.
Well, it sounds like the story of Ashley Barty. When she returns with a bang.
That's why I'm scared. She changes her mind now. Who knows what will happen?
Maybe she will change the next 3 Grand Slams when she returns.
It looks like she will sustain this one.
Okay.